All righty, welcome to our podcast 2158 Rise of the Brotherhood. I am your host, Big Sean. This is episode 3. We're going to be
And I'm
going.
your co-host, Grizz.
Give me a second, I'm getting to you. So, this is going to be an episode introducing our National Officer Corps that we have going on. We're going to have Grizz kind of do most of the talking. I think our last episode went well. I don't know about you, Grizz, but I think it went pretty well.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely went a lot better than our first episode.
Yeah, we're getting there. We still got to get this intro thing down, though. We kind of fumbled that up. Kind of like the Ravens fumbled the football against the Bills. That's fine. Go Bills.
Oh,
I had to throw some football in there, you know. So our first guest we are going to bring up today is going to be our National Sergeant at Arms. His name, he goes by the handle of Q Ball. We're going to go ahead and bring him up to the stage right now. Boom. What's going on, Q Ball?
Gentlemen, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going good. Looks like you're nice and comfortable over there in your chair.
Trying to, waiting to find out I can go back into receiver in Florida after the storm.
Yes, sir. So Q Ball's been with the club roughly, what, about a couple years now, I think it is, or so?
It'll be 3 years in June, so 2.5 years now.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm kind of going to turn this over to Q Ball. I know he's kind of like my right hand man in this club. Has been for a while now. He does a tremendous amount for this club, but I'm going to let Grizz and kind of Q Ball kind of get in this a little bit. Take about 10 minutes or so and go through this. And we got a couple more guests after this we're going to bring up as well. And we're going to move forward. So, Grizz, you're up, sir. Go for it.
alrighty. So, Q-Ball, just to get a little bit of a better idea of who you are and what brought you to BOH.
For myself, I was looking for something greater than just holding the steering wheel, as we like to be called. I spent a lot of time on Facebook like we do, just laying in bed, and I happened to see the BOH family, I guess you could say, recommendation. And so I joined and I was approved, and I saw the meetup posts that the members were doing and officers were doing and whatnot. And I think it was about 2 weeks after I joined the family page, and open enrollment had been advertised. And so I joined the open enrollment and was brought in as a hang around. And I didn't really talk my first, I guess it was 8 or 9 days of the 2 week hang around period. And I finally jumped into chat, and I didn't say a whole lot initially. And it was one of my best friends now, Gear Jammer. He really pulled me out of my shell, and I became a member and just started digging my heels into the club, I guess you could say. Really enjoying the atmosphere of the camaraderie that we had, and I stay here for the camaraderie.
Most definitely. And that was exactly the same thing with me when I first joined the club, too. It was just, I'd pop in chat, but I just really wouldn't say much unless I had something to say. So,
I think that's one of the biggest hurdles that we have to overcome is the people who are introverted in meeting with us. But if they get into chats and find something they can identify in the conversation, they'll really open up and find out that a lot of us are really alike, and build bigger bonds, much like I have with a lot of the members in the club that I've
yeah.
come to call my own family.
Right. And that's exactly what it is with us. It is a family. You build that bond and you build that trust with the brothers.
Yeah, Q Ball's been
Absolutely.
an integral part in moving this club forward, man. I will say that from the national president standpoint. Uh, he first came in the club, like you said, he didn't say a whole lot at all. And then, like, I would say probably 20 minutes into the club, into a chat one day with Q Ball, I was like, "You're highly educated." He goes, "How do you know?" So I can tell by the way you speak. So, and here we are now. He is now the National Sergeant at Arms of the club. So,
Yeah.
it's been great having him. That's
Cue Ball is definitely well versed.
I am.
definitely.
I didn't have any intentions of becoming a national officer. I didn't want to be an officer. I didn't want that level of responsibility. But unfortunately, Big Sean's good at finding jobs for those that are highly qualified, and I fit that bill for where he wanted to go. And so here I am.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
another question I had for you: how does your position affect the daily affairs within the club?
So my role as the National Sergeant at Arms, it's a little unique here, only because I get to use a combination of my education and my former law enforcement background and experience, I guess you could say, with law, both criminal and civil. I took the bylaws to the next level, and really trying to protect us as an entity, a 501c3. Day to day, I guess you could say, I'm more of the bureaucrat side of things. I do a lot of the program writing. Will at the national level and sometimes the chapter level come up with ideas of programs to implement, and I start writing, and that's what I do. I'm not so good at the formation of ideas, but I'm really good at putting pen to paper and developing the initial, I guess, concepts that we evolve over time as the program's built. I'd like to say that I work on one at a time, but our national president, Big Sean, likes to come up with 5 or 6 new ideas a week, and my list is like 30 deep now. So one project at a time, I guess you could say. But day to day, that's really how it impacts the organization.
See, the problem is these new ideas come up because you guys always leave me unattended. That's the problem. And then my mind starts wandering. Then it's time to change and move forward. So that's just how it works. It ain't my fault. I'm sorry. My mind is constantly going 24/7.
We try not to. We try not to. You've gotten a lot better over the last year or so, letting me kind of build one thing at a time. But sometimes there are those days. I finally learned to start writing things in a notebook so I can track where I'm at with my tasks.
Right. Yeah, and then sometimes I'll come in and screw your whole list up that you got and be like, "Yo, I need this one done now. Forget the other ones. Let's go to this one,
Yep.
and let's get this one done."
Absolutely, absolutely. So in the traditional sense of the National Sergeant at Arms, I don't do so much the enforcement. That's more to our National Road Captain, but him and I really work together. Surprisingly, we nearly share the same brain when it comes to ideas of how to work the bylaws or something that comes up. We're usually pretty parallel in the enforcement, but he's handles more the enforcement arm, which will be getting to him next. And then I do the writing. Short answer.
Yeah. So, being in the officer position that you're in, how does that affect your passion for the trucking industry?
It's given me more passion, more drive. I know, like a lot of people, we think about hanging the keys up every once in a while, and I know I've tried to hang the keys up 6 or 7 times, and I ended up back in the steering wheel. But it gives me more, I guess you could say, breath to my day. When you can only listen to so much Dateline NBC before you just need to go somewhere else, and that somewhere else is usually into the chats. When I'm famous in the club of saying that when I'm in the chat, I'm just a member. I just want to be a member, and I'm an officer when I have to be. Usually when I'm writing something or we're in meetings, or I have to step up and actually fill my role because something's not gone the way we expected it, or not right, or dare I say, behavioral problems. Sometimes we do come across that, but day to day, I want to be a member. I want to have a good time. I like to throw out my little sniper humor out there once in a while. But it gives me purpose throughout the day. Just like everyone will say, I've missed my fair share of exits, and sometimes 3 in a row, just because we were having such a great time, especially at 4 o'clock in the morning when it's me and Gear Jammer and 3 or 4 other morning owls that are running, and we just get cutting up and miss 3 exits in a row. I don't know how I did it, but it makes the day more fun.
The
Yes,
chats
they
will
will.
definitely do that to you. I've missed a lot of exits in the 4 years since I started this club. That's for sure.
I have
like,
too.
I got to make a U-turn, 20-mile detour. Here we go.
Oh, and let's not mention the help that we get from members. I was pulling an empty hazmat tank through St. Paul, and I wasn't sure if I could go through downtown like some places we can. And we have a resident officer, Secretary Celtic Reaper. He lives up that way, and he knew immediately I needed to take the loop around. Otherwise, I probably would have got a hefty ticket. And that was good information that he was in the chat at the time that I absolutely needed it. And we come across that a lot, where someone needs help with weights or routing or detours because of traffic. Someone knows that area and knows a way to get around, and in that instance, it's always a blessing just to have that to help our day out.
Right, and that's exactly what I like about the club too, is just having that knowledge and that experience in the club, and the knowledge of certain areas.
Absolutely. I tasked Celtic Reaper with a task to count up the members that he could get a hold of for their years of experience. And at last count, we have 427 years of experience between, I think it was 20 members. And that's not even half the club yet. Once we get the total in, it's going to be amazing to see just the combined amount of experience that we have as of today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot. I mean, we got all avenues of trucking. It don't matter if it's hopper bottom, tanker, RGN, flatbed, dry van, reefer. We have it all. You name it, we have somebody in the club that's been doing it. And that comes in tremendous. I mean, I know when I started doing flatbed again, I was kind of green at it. I mean, I'd done it in the past, but it's been years since I'd done flatbed, and I had never tarped. I always did flatbed, just equipment and stuff like that. I never did it with tarping, and man, I had to tarp that first load. Whew, that was rough, but thank God for the club. They gave me some different tricks of ways to tarp certain loads, and it made my job even easier at the end of the day when I started doing that. So it was definitely a lot better at the end of the day to have this club. And the good thing is we can do everything on video. So we're not just on the phone. So we can actually show what we're doing. And then people can take this corner, move it here, take that bungee and move it here or whatnot. And it makes it a lot easier at the end of the day.
Definitely.
So absolutely.
It definitely helps. But I don't know if you have anything else that you want to add, Cue Ball. We're missing our road captain right now. I think he's having cell phone service issues. So we're probably going to bring up Gear Jammer next, which will be our national enforcer. Get him in here. If you have any closing remarks, anything you'd like to add, Cue Ball? Oh yeah, don't forget, you see it scrolling at the bottom. You can check us out at brothersofthehighway.com. That's our website address. You can also go to BOH Family on Facebook. We're on TikTok, where this podcast will be. Obviously, it's going to be on Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, all those different places. We'll get those out to you a little bit later in the show. But Q-Ball, appreciate you having you. If you got any closing remarks, we'll go ahead and let you do those, and then we'll get you on out here and bring up the next one.
I do. I've been actually writing our standard operating procedures for how the organization runs as a whole. And the one thing that we're working on right now is our hang around and prospecting phase. When you come into the organization to get to know us and us to get to know you, we have a lot of people that drop out, and I encourage people to hang out and enter the chats as soon as you possibly can and get to know us, because we're not as bad as what people might think or what some rumors might say about us. We are genuinely here to make the industry better. And it's unfortunate that every round we lose 50% of our hang-arounds and or prospects because they say it's not for them or they're too busy. I've been there with the not too busy, or I've been, too busy having run my own business and a pregnant wife and having a baby at the same time and still have my family life and writing for the club. I was able to do all that and still be in chats and have a good time and do what I needed to do. So there's really no such thing as too busy when we all do the same thing and drive every day. 30 minutes is all we're looking to see your face and get to know you. And I'm imploring everybody that is thinking about joining us and give us a shot, because I will tell you, after 2.5 years, I still don't regret it. This is one of the best organizations I've ever joined.
I have my cup the wrong way, sorry. We're trying to kind of move it along a little bit. We're trying to wait for Repo. He had to restart his phone so we can bring him in next. But I mean, we can probably go ahead and bring up Gear Jammer and get him in here and out. I know Gear Jammer's at home right now. As you guys can see, Q-Ball's chilling in his truck waiting for his company to let him know, hey, where am I going? We ain't going to tell you where he's at, but what he's got on, we'd all want. Let's put it that way.
Yes. Yes. I'm a club favorite of everyone.
We just got to start seeing if they're going to start giving us some samples, man. That would be great to get some samples.
That would be great.
But,
that would be great.
I just don't think that's going to happen.
No, my company would even frown on that.
Right? But it's been great talking to you, Q-Ball, man. Like I said, I enjoy having you in the club. You've been a godsend to the club, especially when it comes to like the writing and all that stuff. That's not my forte. I can speak all day, but as far as writing stuff and all that's just not my forte. But I can talk to you all day, not a problem. And I shoot from the hip. I don't usually have a script in front of me because reading might be a comprehension problem sometimes, because I'm trying to read and I know what I want to say, but the words on the screen ain't what I want to say. But it just is what it is. That's why I'm better at shooting from the hip and just go from there. But thank you. I appreciate you. We're going to go ahead and get you off the screen and let you go about your day. Thanks for taking the 10 to 15 minutes of time out here with us.
Mhm.
And love and
Thanks for having
respect.
me.
Like we told you guys, we always sign off with a love and respect. And again, this is my National Sergeant at Arms cue ball. We also got National Marketing Director Grizz in here, and I'm also Big Sean, the National President and founder of the club. But thanks, cue ball. Love and respect, boss. We'll see you here in a little
Love and
while.
respect.
Love and respect, brother.
All right. I think that went pretty good, Grizz. Huh? Cue ball, that's a good dude right there,
Yeah.
man. He really is. I mean,
Absolutely. Yeah.
I've been to his house and hung out with him and his family. I know he just had a new baby. Zay, that's his nickname. I'm sure he goes by that more than Xavier and all that. Call him Professor X, basically, at the end of the day. So, I mean, that's kind of where we are. But that's kind of why he goes by Zay. But Q-Ball has been a great, great asset to this club, man. More than I can express to anybody. But let's go ahead and get our next guy up. Repo hasn't made it back in. He said he had to reset his phone or something like that. We're going to go ahead and bring up our national enforcer, which is Gear Jammer. Go ahead and bring him up to the stage. Bang. And there he is. Yeehaw.
Oh, Lord. Oh, man.
Welcome to the show there, Gear Jammer.
What's going on?
What's going on, boss? So we're going to kind of do the same thing with Gear Jammer we did with Cue Ball there. We're going to ask him a few questions and just kind of let him introduce himself to the club. These podcasts are new to us. I know that a lot of this is about the club. We're going to get into future podcasts down the road where we're going to start bringing up some more things that actually have to do with trucking. But we just want to get our name out there as a club right now, and we'll start having some different dialogue coming back and forth when it comes to different issues in trucking that we see as a club or as members. But right now I'm going to turn it over to Grizz. He's going to go through the same thing, the interview questions with Gear Jammer. It's all yours, sir.
Alrighty. So Gear Jammer is his handle, and a lot of the time we refer to him as just Jammer. So if you hear me say that, that's who I'm talking to. Jammer, a couple questions for you. Pretty much the same as with Cue Ball, and it's going to be pretty much the same with Repo as well. What brought you to the club?
What brought me to the club? I ain't gonna lie. One night, I was just scrolling through TikTok, watching all these TikTok videos, and I happened to see a post come across for BOH, Brothers of the Highway. So I looked at some of their videos, checked out their Facebook page, saw some of the stuff they were about, and what they were trying to do with the industry, and it was something I felt like I want to be a part of. I'm a lone wolf. Before this club, I was always a lone wolf. You know, I was just by myself. I say hey to drivers all the time, but just that's about it. I get my coffee, get back in the truck, and keep on going. So I definitely want to be part of a change, and that's why I came over here.
I will say when Gear Jammer came in the club as a prospect, he was a troublemaker. He got a lot of special assignments.
Hey, I was the voice for the voiceless that was scared to speak up.
So how does being the national enforcer affect your view of how the club operates?
Well, with my position, I'm like the supervisor of the officers below me. I make sure that each of one of their chapters are operating the way they should be. That they got their brothers in line and doing what they need to do, and the club is running smoothly. At the end of the day, my job is to protect the club and home, all the way from the national president down, is to make sure everyone's protected, and kind of do that, pretty fairly. I don't go down yelling and screaming at people. I'll pull to the side, talk to them. Hey, this is what I see was wrong. What can we do to fix it? Let's move on. So, like I said, end of the day, my job is to make sure all chapters are running smoothly and that everything is fine.
Okay, nice. Yeah. Does being part of the organization help drive your passion for your trucking career?
Yeah, I will say I've always had a strong passion for this industry. Being in this club and being in the position that I'm in kind of shows me a little bit more deep into the industry. Because when I was by myself, I was doing tankers, so only associated with other tanker drivers here. I got to know all kinds of brothers from all walks of life. Um, got to see their different viewpoints on the industry and how they see it. So I will say being in this position and being in this club has helped me see more into this industry than I thought I would be able to see.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Really, that's a lot of the questions I had for you. But one other question I had for you is, in the day to day with the club, is there any part of it that really gets on your nerves or anything like that?
Um, not so much. It gets on my nerves. I like to I like to try to come up with ideas to help our club grow and move forward. So I'm constantly coming up with contests and stuff to get these brothers more involved and get them out there spreading this word. So last one I did, I think, was an ugly sweater contest for Christmas. Want to get more
Yeah,
activity on our family page, want to get more brothers involved, and we got a few people involved, had fun with it, and I'm hoping to continue doing something like that as we grow.
Yeah, that was pretty
absolutely.
fun.
Actually,
That was a good one. We had what 5 or 6 people join. I had mine ready,
so yeah,
and then it passed the date, and I forgot about it because I know all y'all would have talked crap about the one I had on. Because, as I said, I'm a Bills fan, so it was a Bills ugly sweater. Go Bills!
see this black. You see this black and
Yeah,
gold
no,
right
you,
here.
you can hide that back there, that black and gold. We don't need to see that up there right now. Uh, no, we're not doing the song black and yellow, black and yellow. We're not doing all that. No. Definitely not doing all that fun stuff. But Gear Jammer's been a good part, a good asset to the club as well. Like I said, he was a troublemaker when he first came in as a prospect. When you're a prospect in the club, kind of give you guys a little background. There's certain assignments we ask you to do. It's just showing commitment to the club. Are you willing to put the best foot forward? Because we're not going to just give you access to the brotherhood. You have to earn your access to the brotherhood, and that's what it's all about. And this assignments are simple things: doing a trash pickup, or doing a 2 to 3 paragraph essay on what brotherhood means to you. It's a simple thing. Well, Gear Jammer, he would always like to start trouble. So when you kind of got in trouble, you'd get a special assignment. But it'd be a funny special assignment. You got to get out and sing "I'm a Little Teapot" or something to that effect. And Gear Jammer was just trying to do his best to get as many special assignments as he could because he wanted to break the record, which I think he still holds the record almost 2 years later. So
Almost
I
3
don't know if
years.
that was a good thing or a bad thing, but he done what
March
he
will be
had to
3 years.
do, man. But he's definitely came a long, long, long way. Gear Jammer has, and I'm so proud of where he started to where he is now as the enforcer of the club. Because he has to be that. You have to be a different way to be the enforcer of the club. You can be their friend, but on the other hand, you can't be their friend sometimes because you have to enforce the rules of the club at the end of the day. But we're all here for the same common goal. The whole 50, 60 plus members we have in the club right now, we're here for one goal, and that's to help bring back respect to this industry, change the perception of what regular people out there in their four-wheelers see of truck drivers. And I'm so glad Gear Jammer came to this club. I really am. It's been a long, hard road. We've had some ups, we've had some downs, but we're on the ups right now. But that's life of starting something new. I mean, this is something new out there, and it's not something that happens overnight. We're still inventing that wheel. The wheel's been invented. We're just adding spokes at a time. So we got a lot of spokes to add. There's going to be a lot more to come to get you guys in the back of the episodes a little bit to show you the back end workings of the club and what we're even more about down the road. But I do appreciate the people that are watching. I'm going to let Grizz kind of go through some of our social media pages that you can find us on. And then we'll kind of go through with Gear Jammer a little bit more. Then we're still waiting for Repo. I don't know what's going on with his phone, but we might just have to kind of skip him and get him on the next episode and just do these two today. But go ahead. I'll let you go through that fun stuff, and then we'll kind of move forward.
Okay. So real quick before I roll into the social medias that we have, I did want to say I wanted to give a big special thank you to Gear Jammer because he is the one that actually pitched the club to me and got me into the hang around and prospecting phases. And I'm forever grateful for him introducing me to the club.
That's right. Gear Jammer is the one that brought you into the club. I forgot about that.
Yes, sir.
He
He is.
definitely was. You were definitely part of another organization. It took you a little while to kind of transition over, but you saw where
Yep.
the light was. You saw the light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh yeah, I did. Definitely. So with that, with our social medias, we have the Facebook page, which is BOH Family. If you search that up on Facebook, you can find us. We have the YouTube channel, which is, if you search that, it would be 2158 Rise of the Brotherhood. That'll take you to our page there, and just click the subscribe button, and we've got the episodes there. And then we also have our TikTok, which I believe is Brothers of the Highway TC.
I don't remember what it is my dad gonna tell. Let's see here.
I always
Look it
forget
up
what that
real
one is.
I think it's at Brothers of the Highway 2158. That's our TikTok.
That's what it is. Yep. And then we also have on Spotify and iHeartRadio, if you search up 2158 Rise of the Brotherhood, you can find the podcast. That's where we're going to be broadcasting it there.
Awesome. Let's see. We're gonna go ahead. Gear Jam, you got any closing remarks or anything that you want to throw out there?
Not really, man. I just appreciate everything that this club has done for me. Appreciate you, Big Sean. You've definitely been a big advocate for me, a big supporter on helping me become the person that I want to become. So, other than that, man, love and respect, and see y'all on the other side.
Absolutely. Love and respect, Gear Jammer. Appreciate you joining the show today. You'll have some more episodes coming up down the road. Don't worry. We're going to get in here and get into some more details and different things down the road. But thanks for coming on. And still don't know what repo is, but we're going to get you off here and let you go back about your business. And have a good day, sir. Love and respect.
Love and respect.
Had to get his TV noise out of the background. His wife in the background watching TV and stuff. Anyway, that was a good one. Love Gear Jammer to death, man. He's a great dude, great friend. He's definitely a brother. He's more of a friend than a brother. He is a brother from another mother, basically, at the end of the day. It's hard to explain what we're trying to build over here and what we have built, and we're going to continue to get stronger as time goes on. Like I forgot that Gear Jammer actually brought you into the club, which is awesome that you got to interview him. So that worked out at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I don't know if one of you guys that are sitting in the green room back there can maybe reach out to Repo and see if he got his phone back up and something to that effect and kind of let us know. We can just kind of kill a little time. Maybe I'll interview you a little bit here, Grizz. So what did bring you to the club other than Gear Jammer? Like, what did you see?
With me, he had pitched a club, and I was like, this sounds like it'd be pretty cool, because I used to be part of an actual MC, and it just didn't work out. My family life, stuff like that, and just the concept of it, I was like, you know what, I think I could do this.
You couldn't reach the ground on your bike, huh?
But no, I absolutely love the trucking industry. I love driving. I love traveling, and being part of this was I was like, you know what, this could be where I could fit in at. And I was like, all right, you know what, I'll give it a shot. And at the time, it was Gear Jammer and our now national secretary, Celtic Reaper. I had met up with them down in Laredo, Texas, and we hung out, and we had dinner and just hung out, and it was a good time. I'm like, this is what I like doing. And then, I started the hang around phase, and then the prospect phase, and then I became a brother, and it was great. And then I made, I was, like Sean was saying, I was part of another organization, and I stepped away from there. And when I made the national meetup last year in Las Vegas, it just changed my whole outlook on the club. I was like, this is absolutely amazing. Like, what they are doing is absolutely amazing. And
I remember you saying that to me that day.
yeah, and I just traveled through Las Vegas not too long ago, and I'm like, I'm so excited for the national meetup this year. You know. So
For you guys that are listening, we do 3 meetups a year. We do one here in Las Vegas. We do one usually in Indiana, and we do one down in Texas. This year, coming up, well, I think it's March 27th, 28th, and 29th, we will be at the Mid-American Truck Show this year. We'll have a booth, and I think our booth is, what is it, 37760, something like that. Just look us up, Brothers on the Highway. Go to the Mats thing, and you can find us on there.
Yeah.
I got so many things in my head that we're going to be coming up with this upcoming. We're doing a fundraiser right now for the St. Christopher's Truckers Fund. You can log onto our website if you guys are looking to donate to help us out. We will be presenting them a check live on our podcast. So we'll be doing a live podcast from Matt's. We'll be presenting them a check, however much we raise between now and March 20th. So anything's help. If you need a donation letter for tax write-offs, we are a registered 501c3 nonprofit organization. So we can get you that letter as well if you need tax write-offs, because I know there's a lot of owner-operators that listen. Tax write-offs are tax write-offs, especially being an owner-operator. Been there.
Yeah,
I know how that is. So, but again, this is our episode 3, and I don't think Repo is going to make it back in because I know he's been driving. I don't know exactly where he's at, but I know he's having, some phone issues or whatnot. But we'll get him on another episode. I don't know about you, but I think we're getting better at this. We're starting to flow a little bit. I feel like.
Yeah, we are.
I mean, that's the way I feel about it. I mean, everybody else in the comments might not, but don't forget to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. We'd really appreciate it. We're trying to grow this. We're trying to get the word out there. The only way we can is with your guys' help. We got to have your help. We can't do it alone. So the more shares we get, the more likes we get, the comments, all that fun stuff, please like and share. We do have supporter gear. That's how we do a lot of our meetups. That's how we pay for it with our t-shirts. If you go to our website, brothersofthehighway.com, click on store, you can buy cups. We have, it's kind of hard to see with the green screen. I don't know why the green screen is acting all goofy, but we have different cups. These are 20-ounce tumblers. We have 30-ounce tumblers. We have t-shirts, long sleeve, short sleeve, everything. And that's how we pay for all the meetups and different charity events that we do. Because I think right now for St. Christopher's, we raised a little over $1,000 so far. Is where we're hitting. Our goal is to hit 5,000, so we can present them with a check for the St. Christopher's Fund at Matt's live on our podcast. So it's huge, man. What we've accomplished in such a short time, where this club started to where it is now, is unbelievable. For me, and I know you haven't been here the whole time, but I've been here since day one, obviously. I remember setting up the Facebook page, and there was one follower. That was me, because I set the page up. So now we're like 2,300 followers on Facebook. We're almost at 9,000 on TikTok. So we're getting there. But it's been a long road, but we do need your guys' help. The people that are watching, we appreciate you 1,000%. Please like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. It would help get this word out there even more. And I know these are longer podcasts. Our ones in the future might be shorter. It just all depends. We don't know. We just kind of shoot from the hip on a lot of it and just have fun. So, But Grizz, I do appreciate you jumping on these podcasts with me. I appreciate you in the club, sir. You're doing a phenomenal job. Keep it up. I don't really have any more to say. I don't know if you got some closing remarks, and then we'll move on.
No, I think you've pretty much covered it. And, like you were saying, thank you to everybody that's listening to the podcast, watching it on YouTube, giving it a follow, giving it a like, and everyone that's dropping the comments on the YouTube videos. We really appreciate that. So that's what we had.
I appreciate it. Well, we're going to go ahead and sign off. I'm Big Sean, the National President.
And I'm Grizz, the National Marketing Director.
Love and respect, guys. Thanks for watching. You guys have a great day.
Love and respect.